Disclaimer. This is independent research that is not connected to any government agency involved with the X-37 program. Speculation contained in this video commentary and this is a conclusion based on theory, logic, and publicly released records. Greetings and salutations, star enthusiasts. This is Silent J with Surf Tectonics, bringing you the X-37 space program update episode. I would recommend watching part 1, but here's a brief summary recap so you can do that later. The unmanned X-37 spaceplane is designed for long endurance missions that are highly classified. It is officially referred to as the Orbital Test Vehicle, or simply Orbital Vehicle, and is described as a platform for reusable spacecraft technologies for America's future in space operations. A total of 7 missions have been flown since April of 2002. OTV-5 mission recently landed 27 October 2019 after a record-setting 780 days in orbit. Also, this was the first X-37 to be launched via the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
Confined parameter. You're hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress. Fixed program has begun. Vehicle response looks good. United States
OTV-6 mission more recently was launched 17 May 2020 from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station by the Atlas V booster that is the primary delivery launch system. Officially, this is the first mission under the direction of United States Space Force, now commanding the X-37 space program. Currently, there are 2 X-37 Mark 1 and 2 in service, with 2 additional X-37B Mark 3s performing primary missions operating as a fleet. The X-37C Mark 4 is currently awaiting clearance for a test flight mission that would make the total number in service to 5 orbital vehicles. Now for the X-37C Mark V space bus that was designed to carry 6 astronauts to and from the International Space Station has been put on hold, delayed, or canceled for the more cost-effective SpaceX Dragon Crew module and Boeing Starliner, both capable of delivering 4 astronauts to and from the International Space Station with a modest cargo load. The unmanned X-37C Mark IV prototype, which is essentially an X-37B with a larger cargo hold, is awaiting modifications for the delivery capsule on the Atlas IV Heavy Booster and Falcon Heavy Launch System. Because of the large demand for classified payload launches on the SpaceX Falcon and Boeing Atlas delivery systems, the production on the massive BFR rocket was scaled down to accommodate the backlog for smaller payloads. Currently, the Falcon Heavy and Atlas IV are the only US-based platforms capable of carrying the X-37C prototype into orbit, with additional modifications required for the booster rocket engines. So this is a recent update on the second launch of the X-37 Mark 1. Back in February 6, 2018, the X37 SMV-1 prototype refit was launched on the Falcon Heavy to dock with the International Space Station for UAV support operations and emergency return vehicle as a permanent orbital asset. With standard RCS thrusters lacking an ion drive system, the SMV-1 can only sustain limited low orbital flights before returning to the International Space Station. Rapid Mission Launch Purpose Directive was, if you recall, back in February of 2018, Russia was at war with Ukraine, centered in the Crimea. There were some tense diplomatic relations between the US and Russia. In addition, Russia launched one of its ASAT PL-19 missiles, destroying one of its own defunct satellites in low Earth orbit. And the Soyuz spacecraft was the only ISS Space Station Earth return vehicle. There was a very low probability that US astronauts could be denied access to the Russian Federal Space assets on the International Space Station. The SMV-1 escape chamber on the X-37's purpose was to evacuate both NASA ISS crew in that unlikely contingency. And where the X-37 Mark I still is stationed today, docked with the International Space Station. And now the X-37 fleet operations of the U.S. Joint Space Command orbital vehicle objectives: deploy one primary X-37B asset in continuous orbit, land recovery maintenance modification of second primary X-37B, and prep for launch window with a 500-day turnaround goal. A secondary asset, the X-37A Mark II, is on a 30-day rapid launch readiness protocol. Also, preparation to utilize the International Space Station SMV-1 UAV to fill launch window gaps for scheduled orbital duties if primary X-37 assets are not available or are delayed by launch. Also, their main objectives is to coordinate administrative contracts with SpaceX and Boeing for the Falcon 9 Heavy and Atlas 4 Heavy launch system booster platforms to deploy the X-37C Orbital Test Vehicle 5 first flight mission that would increase the overall fleet number to 5 orbital vehicles, active primary and active secondary.
Response looks good. Up on closing stern.
Disclaimer. This is independent research that is not connected to any government agency involved with the X37 program. Speculation contained in this video commentary and this is a conclusion based on theory, logic, and publicly released records.